back to my channel. This week I'm going to be doing something a little different on my channel. It's kind of a new series thing that I kind of would like to start. It is called Seeing versus Reading, and it is going to be a movie comparison versus a book comparison. And this week I'm doing Me Before You. Now I know I'm kind of behind because the book's been out for forever, the movie's been out for like 6 months now, but I just finished reading the book yesterday. So here I am giving you guys my thoughts. So here they are. Usually when I see a movie, it's really hard for me to read the book afterwards, so I always try to read the book first and then see the movie. But this time around, I hadn't read the book yet. The movie came out, I was dying to see it, and I just couldn't resist, so I went and saw the movie, and I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I love Emilia Clarke. She is amazing. It was really cool to see her in a character that's not so serious, because I'm so used to seeing her as Daenerys Targaryen. It was nice to see her like playing someone so like goofy and like funny so well. So I loved her in that role, and then I really loved Sam Claflin as Will Traynor. I thought he did an amazing job. It was really interesting seeing him in like that role versus seeing him on like the Hunger Games and stuff. So that was kind of cool. And he's just really handsome, so it was really nice to just watch him in that role. And then the other big one was the guy who played Patrick. He also played Neville Longbottom in Harry Potter. He's all grown up now, Matthew Lewis. It was really cool seeing him. So I really loved the movie, and I was really hesitant to read the book because whenever I read a book after I've seen the movie, I always just feel like I'm reading what I already know is going to happen, and it's just like, I don't want to finish it kind of thing. My cousin was like, oh, the book's really good too. She was like, I think you'll really enjoy it. You should read it. It's a little different. I was like, okay, so I gave it a shot, and I loved the movie so much. For me, it was kind of like I'm getting more of the characters, so I really was like, oh, I just want to know like more of like the details of what was happening in the movie. So I read the book, and I loved it too. It's one of those things where I watched the movie first, so like in my head as I was reading it, like the characters looked the same, which was fine because I really liked the casting. I think they did an amazing job with the people that they picked, so there wasn't a problem there. There are some big differences that I noticed from the book to the movie, but when I went to school, I did screenwriting and I did creative writing, and so from a book standpoint versus a movie standpoint, to me it makes like perfect sense the things that they got rid of. So like in the movie, his parents were together and they were very happy together, or so it seemed. It didn't seem like there was a huge issue between the two of them. But then in the movie, his father was having an affair, which I thought was really interesting. It made me really dislike his father's character in the book. And then like in the movie, he was just kind of absent. It was never really touched on as much as it was, or like explicitly said like it was in the book, what he was going about doing when he wasn't around the house. I mean, maybe he was having an affair and I just wasn't paying attention enough to get it. But that was a big difference, number one. Will also had a sister in the book, which was big difference number two. I understand completely why they got rid of her in the movie, just because she was just kind of another body in there to kind of be conflicting with what Will had chosen and that kind of thing. And I feel like other than her just kind of being there to conflict that point, she didn't really serve a huge other purpose, besides adding comfort, I guess, to his mother when obviously she knew her husband was cheating on her and her son was about to kill himself. So there's that. And then also, Louisa and Patrick's relationship went a lot differently in the book also. In the movie, it seemed kind of like she knew in the movie she wasn't happy with him a lot sooner than she seemed to really pick up on it in the book. There was a lot more factors at play that kind of eased her out of her relationship with Patrick and really eased her into realizing she was falling in love with Will. Where in the movie, it was kind of just like a natural, like, yes, you're in love with this guy that you're taking care of because obviously he's so much better for you. But I thought that was really interesting too. There were some points in the book. They made a really big deal about the controversy surrounding what Will was doing, going to Switzerland, dying with dignity, that kind of thing. It was very controversial. They had like excerpts of like court cases of people who had done it and people who had like assisted suicided with them, who like took them there and helped them do it. And it wasn't really a big controversy in the movie. It was definitely a controversy that she didn't want him to kill himself, that she wanted him to live, and that was kind of more the main focus in the movie. But in the book, it was more so that it was very controversial that this was happening, and there was even like the last paragraph after Will had passed, the court case against him, like his family and Louisa being there, and it kind of just said that he was capable, he understood, and he was very like clear of what he was doing, and so there was no, like, they only simply went there to be at his side as he did this, and they were no, like, they weren't part of it kind of thing. So I thought that was really interesting. And one thing that I think that really made me like both the movie and the book on their own was kind of that the author, she actually did the book and she wrote the screenplay. And I think that's always a really cool thing, because when you write a book and then you kind of hand it over to someone else to change into this movie format, sometimes it doesn't go the way you want it to. I mean, I've seen movie from book adaptations that are terrible. They cut out things that really were essential to the plot and they're just gone. So when you have the author kind of there to be like, oh, that's kind of important, like maybe you should keep that, or oh, that's not so much, like it can go without that, I think it really helps. And you can totally tell in this movie and the book, the movie, like all the things that they took out, I mean, they're really great things to have in the book, because you have that more detail, that more backstory that you kind of just get to read. But when you're seeing it, it's not really necessary, because you have to show things that are seeable and tangible that the audience can figure out as they see it and not so much as they're reading it. Oh, the other big thing that they took out of the movie that was in the book was that Louisa had this kind of like past with the maze and the castle, which there wasn't even really a maze, I don't think, mentioned in the movie version. But in the book version, she had gotten really drunk in this maze with some strange people that she, well, they weren't really strangers, but they were people that she didn't know very well. And she got really drunk and she got assaulted. And that was like a big moment that kind of her and Will shared eventually and kind of brought them a little closer together. And in the movie, they didn't have that situation. And for like the book, that was a really big like subplot for her character. So that made total sense, and it did. It brought them closer together. But I saw completely in the movie how that would have just kind of detracted from the main focus of Will and Louisa and how they came together, and really like her main goal and the main storyline of the movie is trying to save him and getting him to live and want to live and that kind of thing. So I see how that would have detracted. So I understand completely why they took it out. All of those elements kind of separated on their own, like for the book, like they totally made sense. And I really like appreciate that they were there. I really loved both of these on their own. So I think it's definitely like if you're one of those people who you see a movie and then you can't read the book afterwards because it's just too much. I think this is definitely one of those books that you can get past and read and still completely enjoy on its own also. I really, really loved both of these. Me Before You is one of those movies that every time I watch it still I cry. I just really loved it. It's just so good. It's really good. I kind of want to watch it again now. But yeah, I really enjoyed both of these. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you'd like to see more videos like this, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below. Maybe if there's another book, movie, adaptation, seeing versus reading you'd like me to do a comparison on or chat about, let me know. And if you'd like to see more videos like this or other things from me, please subscribe. And I hope you guys have an amazing week, have an amazing day, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye!
Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.